Hey guys, what is up? So I thought it would be interesting and fun to do kind of a new series. The game's been out a little over a year now, and it just has me wondering, with all the new additions, Pure Fiction being added, Apocalyptic Shadow, all the free copies of like Herda and Litecoins you can get from the simulated universe and everything nowadays, how free-to-play friendly is the game around a year after release? So, with that being said, I thought it'd be an interesting kind of challenge run to make a new account, take all the knowledge from the last year that I have from the game, and see what we can do with the new account. Obviously, RNG always plays a factor. It's a gacha game. But I figure the main goals we're gonna have with this challenge run is to just clear all the content. MLC 12, Pure Fiction 4, and Apocalyptic Shadow 4. I don't know how long this will take. We should be able to do it. I would be very surprised if we can't eventually do it. But the amount of time it will take is the part I'm most curious about. The obvious main strategy we're going to have off the start is just probably going for the Super Break team. It's pretty low investment to get quite a bit of power. HMC is free. You get all his Eidolons. Rune May still on banner for another 7 or 8 days, I believe. So if we can snag Rune May, having Rune May and Harmony MC as a baseline is just massive. We get a Gallagher copy as well. We already have the core 3 for the Super Break team, and at that point you can pretty much just sub in any character. Shishang, Zhu Yi, Firefly if we decide to pull it. They just make almost every character with decent amount of break just work. So that's like the core team I think we're going to go with for this challenge. And then we'll worry about the second team a little later. I'm not entirely sure what we're going to do for a second team yet. It really depends on who we end up getting from polls and stuff. I don't think we're going to pull Jade or Argenti. I don't really see any point, but maybe someone in 2.4 will catch our attention. But I thought it'd be an interesting and fun challenge just to kind of see how hard the game is nowadays compared to then. As a complete free-to-play player, because on my main account, I'm a light spender. I normally get the Battle Pass and the Express Pass or whatever it's called for each month. And I would say there's been times when the game's been challenging, but overall, it's not too bad. So, it would just be a fun little challenge. At the beginning, it's going to be a little boring. You know, we got to go through the story, collect chests, do all the random side missions. So for the most part, we're probably just going to skip over a lot of that. Maybe just show like little clips here and there, do voiceover, and just kind of touch up with what I'm doing and why I'm doing it. But yeah, so with that being said, I figure we should just get into things. The first episode, I already know, I apologize, it's going to be a little boring. There's a lot of dialogue, a lot of tutorials, learning to play the game. So the first episode or two, it's going to be a little bit more boring, not much content. But as we progress and as we get to the harder content and we start getting MLC unlocked in Pure Fiction, and we're really pushing our account way ahead of where it should be, hopefully that's when it's a little bit more exciting, a little bit more thought-provoking, and a little bit more strategy involved. So, after doing a couple pulls, we managed to pull a Ting Young and a Shishang, as well as the free copy of Asta we get. So I decided now's the time to start changing our team, stop using Physical MC, he's just not very good. Decided to go, for now at least, March 7 as our support, with Asta and Ting Young as our buffers, with Shishang being our main DPS. Mostly because we could also potentially use Shishang in the future for one of our Super Break teams as long as we pull Rune May. Asta just being good for speed, especially early on. It's really hard to get speed. It's just cheating speed out. March 7's really our only support slash sustain right now, and Ting Young's just always a solid pick. So I kind of decided that most of Belobog is just really boring to watch. So I decided to pretty much just skip all of Belobog and just show me doing the pulls here and there, kind of what I got, and then at the end I'll show you where at the end of day 1 our teams and our roster is kind of looking like. Something else to keep in mind with this challenge as well is while we will be trying to play optimally, we will probably not be playing every day, therefore we'll be missing dailies, which means we'll be missing Jades, and we'll also probably not use our energy every day, which means we'll be missing potential relics. But I also think that's partly a good thing, just because that means it'll be more to the average slash casual experience of Star Rail. And also, as you can see on the screen right now, we finally got our standard Mariner beginner warp 5-star, and we got Clara, which is actually pretty good. Obviously, most people would say Brownie is the best, and I think in general, Brownie still is the best. She's incredibly versatile, she makes so many teams work, and it's just so much damage and push. But Clara's a lot of fun. Clara can solo a lot of things and be kind of gimmicky. So I'm actually pretty excited to have Clara on the team, and I think it's going to be fun. And then we also picked up the Gallagher, which is huge. Now we have Gallagher, and you'll see later in the video we end up getting HMC by the end of day 1. So the only core member we're missing from the Super Break team now is the Rune Mei, which obviously is the hardest one to get, but I will be trying to play a good bit before her banner goes away just to really get as many Jades as possible to try to get her. Once we get her, I will probably relax a little bit more and the amount of time I'm playing per day at the start here, but I just want to try to optimize as many pulls as possible because without getting Rune Mei, it's going to be really awkward to try to do this challenge properly. It's going to really set us back without having the Super Break core. We also get a copy of Zhu Yi, which is kind of nice. Obviously, we also get a free one through Apocalyptic Shadow. So now we have at least E1 of her. And we also got another QQ copy, so I believe that's E1 of her already as well. And I just figured I would leave in the last fight of, like... It's not the last fight of Belobog, but like the 1.0 Belobog experience, I suppose, is probably what it is. Fighting Coco. It's an okay fight. I just didn't want it to be only pulls in the first video. It's kind of boring. Figured at least add a little bit of gameplay, show the kind of teams I'm running. I'm pretty much running Gallagher, Clara. Most of the time I'm running Asta. Sometimes I've switched it to Ting Young. And then in the last slot, it kind of depends. Sometimes I've been running Serval for the Lightning Break. A couple times I ran Shang still. And for this fight, I obviously have MC in because you have to have MC for this fight because this is when you get Fire MC Preservation. So you have to have him on the team for this fight. Coco's weak to fire. I figured just stack fire damage. Clara's mostly here just for fun, and she's my most geared unit. Not really helpful here too much, honestly, but just didn't really matter. So I figured why put someone else on here that might die when Clara's at least safe, and that's why I did that. As you can see, we are about to defeat Coco and complete this arc of the Belobog story. It's a pretty simple battle. Now I'll just show you the teams at the end of day 1. We have the Gallagher, just level 40, nothing too crazy. Pretty basic, just running perfect timing because that's all we have. Clara, we have Moles, it's terrible, but we don't have anything better. We're waiting to get like something like Aeon. Asta's on Meshing Cogs. Harmony MC's not even on anything yet because we just got them. Serval's on Breakfast, probably the best 4-star Erudition Lycoon we have right now. Then everyone else is just kind of on random garbage 3-stars that I just happened to have when I pulled them at the time. I haven't gone back and like actually put any gear on these people just because I haven't been using them enough to justify it. But yeah, so this is the account at the end of day 1. Pretty good start. I'm excited to pull Rune Mei and get the Super Break core going. Thanks for watching, guys.